Hi there, welcome back to my views and news. Three news stories. First one is about an Ethiopian colonel, Ethiopian military officer, allegedly taken prisoner by Fano fighters. This is second colonel of the military which has been taken prisoner by Fano. According to Fano's claims, important thing is that this colonel was not captured in Amhara region. Secondly, Tigray government is silent while Tigrayan diaspora is protesting up for the extension of UN inquiry commission on Ethiopia. Thirdly, it seems that Western countries are running out of patience. They are not willing to tolerate Eritrean protests. Excessive use of force was seen in a European country today against Eritrean protesters. Pro-democracy protesters, opposition members protested, and police used excessive force there reportedly. Firstly, viewers, Fano fighters are claiming that they have captured an Ethiopian military colonel. From where was he taken prisoner? Firstly, it shouldn't be a surprise now because several videos are being shared by Fano fighters showing ENDF prisoners of war. Hundreds of ENDF soldiers have been taken prisoner by Fano fighters so far. No one could have imagined a few months ago that Fano would be capturing ENDF soldiers. I remember when I started covering this conflict in Amhara, and I reported that Fano fighters had captured a few ENDF soldiers. People mocked. People said, Sajid, are you in your senses? How can Fano capture ENDF soldiers? You are exaggerating. You are lying. Later, you saw what happened. You are seeing what is happening, that ENDF members being taken prisoner in large numbers. Now Fano fighters are showing ENDF soldiers, dozens of them in new videos. So if Fano fighters claim to have captured a colonel, it's not that it is exaggerated. Though we're waiting for a video. A few days ago, Fano fighters claimed to have captured a colonel who was a Tigrinya-speaking member of Ethiopian National Defense Force. I think his name was Kiros, and he was captured in Gojam, on Gojam front. Now another colonel, according to Fano, captured by Fano fighters. His name is Colonel Melkamo Sigai, ENDF officer. Important thing is the location where this colonel was captured. We have been regularly updating you about Fano's incursions into Oromia from the Amhara region. Fano fighters entered Horogodoro Valley. They killed a Voreda security chief there in Horogodoro Valley. Fano fighters entered North Shore zone of Oromia, from North Shore zone of Amhara. They entered Mendida, they entered Dera. Now Fano fighters are trying to enter East Shiva zone of Oromia. They I think already entered East Shiva. From Minjar, Ararti, they entered East Shiva. And there was fighting in Ajare. I did a video a few hours ago. So far, Fano fighters have entered 3 Oromia zones: East Shiva, North Shore, and Horogodoro Valley. This colonel was captured not in Amhara but in Oromia. Allegedly, it is being claimed by Fano fighters. No video so far. Only a picture of the colonel has been published by Fano fighters. He was captured in Gundamaskal. Where is Gundamaskal? Gundamaskal is in Dera Wareda. Dera Wareda is in North Shore zone of the Amhara region. This is where Gundamaskal, this is where Fano fighters entered a few days ago. This is where there is support for Fano fighters, because in Dera there is large Amhara population. In border areas, Oromia Amhara border areas, large Amhara population resides. That is why Fano fighters are breaching Oromia border. They want to create a conflict. They want to create instability in Oromia's border areas where Amharas live, because they know that there they can get public support, and they're trying to organize local Fanos in Oromia, on Oromia Amhara border. In Valaga too, for some time, for months I would say, Amhara, local Amharas of Valaga, they've been trying to arm themselves. Local level, village level armed factions have been formed. And local level, these Fano factions don't have any central authority. They say they are arming themselves to protect themselves against attacks by Ola and Oromia security forces. So Fano fighters captured this colonel in North Shore zone of the Oromia region in Gundamaskal, which is in Dera Wareda. What is ENDF doing? I mean, ENDF colonels can be taken prisoner by Fano fighters outside Amhara region in Oromia, on Oromia territory. Fano fighters remained in control of Gundamaskal for some time, if you remember. They entered Gundamaskal twice, then they retreated reportedly. So, in their attack on Gundamaskal, they took Colonel Milkamut Sigai prisoner. He was captured by Fano fighters. Ethiopia military never admits its losses in terms of its soldiers killed, taken prisoner, wounded in this conflict in Amhara. Though we have seen several videos showing ENDF members taken prisoner, ENDF members wounded, treated at hospitals, ENDF members killed too. Graphic videos, cannot show you here. But ENDF says that Fano fighters are lying, and ENDF is a disciplined, modern military which has restored peace and stability in the Amhara region. But ENDF colonels are being taken prisoner by Fano fighters on Oromia territory. Secondly, was Tigray government is silent. It is in secret alliance and understanding with Ethiopian federal government. Tigrayan diaspora organizations are protesting. They say that this month in September, UN Human Rights Council is going to meet, and mandate of UN Inquiry Commission on Ethiopia is going to be considered, because the mandate of this commission is going to expire this month. So either the mandate will be extended, or the mandate and the commission will terminate. Ethiopian government is least interested in the extension of the mandate of this commission. Why? Because Ethiopian government has been opposing the formation of the commission. It opposed formation of the commission more than a year ago. It opposed funding for this commission. It refused to give access to this commission to investigate in Ethiopia. It opposed extension of the mandate of the commission last year too. So, from day one, Ethiopian government, Eritrean government, both have been opposing this UN inquiry commission. It is the only hope that maybe someday victims of the Tigray conflict, whether they are in Amhara or Tigray regions, they'll get justice for the crimes committed against them. But now Federal government not interested obviously in the extension of the mandate of the commission. Tigray government is dragging its feet too. Before Pretoria deal, Tigray government was the main campaigner behind the extension of the mandate of the commission, but after Pretoria deal things changed. Now Tigray government is silent. It wants the commission to continue only to the extent of Eritrea. It is of this view that Eritrean military has committed atrocities on Tigray territory, and these atrocities cannot be investigated by an Ethiopian investigative commission. So UN commission should continue, but it should investigate the crimes committed by Eritrean military. Ethiopia is against the working of the commission. It means that basically Tigray government is going to remain silent. It isn't going to start any lobbying for the extension of the mandate of the commission. It will be interesting to see what US and EU do. Will they support the extension of the mandate of the commission, or will they support termination of this commission? That we'll see this month. Tigray and diaspora want accountability. They want this commission to continue investigation. Though investigation never began, it was only conducted remotely. Commission members were never allowed to visit Tigray, Amhara, Afar regions. But Tigray government is silent. It does not want to embarrass Ethiopian federal government. It is supporting Ethiopian federal government. It does not want to take any measure which could complicate its relations with Ethiopian federal government. So, you'll keep on seeing protests in diaspora, but no statement from Tigray government so far. Let's see. Thirdly, it seems that Western countries are running out of patience. They are not willing to tolerate any protests by Eritrean opposition groups. They are using force, excessive force against Eritreans. We saw display of this excessive force in some countries this year. In Germany, Gießen, Eritrean opposition brigade Nihamido members were harshly beaten. Then in Israel, we saw that police resorted to live ammunition firing. Some Eritrean opposition activists were injured, more than 100 were injured. And today in Denmark, Copenhagen, police used excessive force against Eritrean protesters, opposition protesters. They used excessive force. They beat these protesters. The protest was largely peaceful. There was no clash between Eritrean groups in Copenhagen, but police used force not proportionate to the protest carried out by opposition groups. What is going to happen in Israel will decide how other countries are going to treat Eritrean refugees, Eritrean opposition groups. Because in Israel, court proceedings are underway and some Eritreans could be deported. Western countries, they don't want Eritrean groups to fight on the streets of Europe. What happened in Gießen was a total breakdown of law and order situation. For 2 days, Gießen came to a close. That is why other European countries, they don't want direct clash with Eritrean groups now on their soil. So they are going to take strong action, strict measures against Eritrean groups. Since opposition groups attack festivals, we cannot deny this fact that all attacks on Eritrean festivals were initiated by Eritrean opposition members, Brigade Nihamido members. Though Eritrean government says these Brigade Nihamido members are non-Eritrean, they are not Eritrean, they are Tigrayans. They are Eritreans basically, majority of them Eritreans. But they are the ones, opposition groups, which attacked pro-government diaspora festivals in Europe, Canada, Israel, America. It means that European countries are going to be tough now on opposition groups. Brigade Nihamdo members could face a trouble. They are going to be treated with an iron hand, it seems. At least police is using force. Don't know about the legal proceedings against these opposition groups in Europe and Canada, America. Let's see what happens in Israel. A clip for you from Copenhagen, Denmark today, where police can be seen using excessive, disproportionate force against Eritrean opposition protesters there. Thank you for watching.